Okay, cemetery is about a half-mile up this mountain here, so I'll follow this old wagon trail up here, and once I get up there I'll turn the camera back on. One thing I noticed about this mountain trail here is there's a lot of quartz. I know it's hard to see with this IR filter on, but it's just quartz everywhere you look. I don't know if that's going to have any effects or any anomalous readings on any of my EMF meters or not, but we'll find out once we get up there. It's I'm so not built for this mountain hiking crap, I'll tell you what. So once I get up here, I'll turn it back on. Alright, I'm almost up to the top of the mountain here. Still I'd stand here and take a little break here and catch my breath. Like I said, it's a pretty steep hill here. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm almost there. Okay, made it up here to the top. This is Huffman Gunpowder burial ground. There are, if I had to guess, 40, maybe 50 stones here, along with William Huffman and his wife. And one of the interesting things about this cemetery is down at the foot of the cemetery. Let me walk my way down here. It was common practice here in Maryland, back in the colonial times, that when you had servants and slaves, they were also buried here at the cemetery. And here are a few of the markers. You can't really read anything on them anymore. Yeah, there's really no markers that are visible left anymore. They're just too old. This side we have, there are two initials, W and P. This side and this smaller one, I can't quite make out what that says. But it's interesting that the cemeteries back in colonial times included servants and slaves. There are a lot of children in the cemetery. One of the people that I try to communicate with, if they're here, is this woman right here. Her name is Phoebe. Excuse me, Phoebe. We had talked to her, or tried to communicate with her many times, and I know you can't read at the bottom, but there's a very somber inscription here that says, "Farewell, my husband and children, all from you, a mother, died and lost in vain. Mourn not for me, it is also in vain." Very somber. This woman passed away in 1885, and she was 38 years old, with children, like many of the people up here, and any cemetery that you ever go to. Each one of these people have a story, including the person that founded this cemetery, William Huffman. His monument is here in the back. It's a very nice one. There's a list of all the people that are buried here in this cemetery. Has the, if they're known, the names and the dates of their births and deaths. And of course at the bottom it says many of their faithful slaves are buried here also, down at the bottom here. This was dedicated in 1988. On the back of this is William's memorial and Susanna, his wife. And of course William Huffman, interesting thing about him is he came here from Germany, and he built a paper mill within a mile of here or so. Interesting fact that his paper mill produced the first paper that was used for paper currency in the United States. And this is here in Huffmanville, Maryland, which is just across the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do some EVP work here. I'm going to set my tripod up here. I will synchronize the audio from my EVP recorder to this video once I restart it. So everything will be coordinated, and what I'll do is I'll overlay that audio on this video file once it's complete. So let me get set up here. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to synchronize my audio and my video. 3, 2, 1, go. Now what I'll do with that is I'll use that to synchronize my audio with the video, so that when I overlay the audio onto the video, everything is synchronized. So let's start here. I do have my EVP meter set up on magnetic. This will filter out any electronic or radio or microwave frequency, so the only thing that's left for this to detect is the magnetic frequencies, which is what I'm interested in. So I'm looking for correlations between EVPs and EMF. Is there anyone here in this cemetery who would like to talk to me? Phoebe? Do you have something you'd like to say? Are you here with me? Is there anyone here that would like to speak with me? I'm looking for magnetic anomalies. Could you manipulate this needle by producing magnetic frequencies? Anyone? Are there any servants here that would like to talk with me? Maybe tell me your story? Is there anyone here that would like to speak with me? It's just heard a very low frequency, or a very low mumble or rumble over here. I'll have to definitely check my audio. I just heard it again. I don't know if my microphones are going to pick that up or not. And I know there's birds and wind. It's probably going to be hard to hear. I'm going to grab my camera here. Just do a little walking with it. Since the last time I was up here, someone had brought a new plaque or memorial here for Caleb Lowe, Sergeant Company G13 Maryland Infantry. And he was with the Army of the Potomac during the Civil War. Oh, excuse me, the Maryland Potomac Home Brigade during the Civil War. Born August 31st, 1831, and passed January 31st, 1864. Fairly young man. I know this isn't level, but we're just going to make do. And this is another Huffman. I can't make out the first name. Is there someone here that would like to speak to me? Anyone at all? Can you manipulate this meter? Make that meter move by manipulating the magnetic energy? I did walk around this cemetery earlier, and I couldn't detect any kind of magnetic anomalies at all. I went around the entire perimeter, and I was able to get nothing. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is absolutely crazy. Look at this. I just mentioned that I wasn't able to get anything, and the meter went absolutely crazy. And now it is absolutely gone. Boy, I hope I recorded that. That was absolutely crazy. And this is set on magnetic, people. This isn't, that wasn't a telephone or any kind of microwave energy or radio waves at all, shortwave or other. This was big time spike. Now I'm gonna have to hold this on my on the meter all the time now, so bear with me. I was just mentioning, there it goes again. And you see I have it set on magnetic. It looked like it was spiking, I don't know, it's about 2 milligauss, which is pretty high in an area where there's no electricity. Just gonna walk around here a little bit and see if I can't hit a random spike again. You notice every time I mention the fact that I walked our perimeter and couldn't find anything, this meter was detecting something. So I'm just going to keep talking as if I didn't see it. I'm just going to, and just the fact that I'm walking back and forth over the exact same areas where I got the hits and there's nothing now, that has my curiosity now. So I'm just going to keep walking around the cemetery and hopefully I'll pick something else up. Like I said, this is extremely odd because I walked the entire perimeter, and oh, there's a candle. Like someone was up here trying to communicate with someone using candles. Wow, I certainly hope I got that on camera. I know I moved it as fast as I could to capture it. And I mean, as you can see, it's dead here as far as EMF. There's no power lines, there's no towers, at least a mile off the road. And I have it set on magnetic. So that was interesting. Especially since I'm going over the 4th pass now of the same area where I got those hits. Okay, I'm going to stand in this area and try to work a little bit right here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set this tripod up here, and I'm going to... Okay, is there somebody here that would like to talk to me? Is that you trying to communicate with me through EMF? I'm not sure what that was. I just heard something. I'll have to check my audio. Yeah, that was very, very bizarre. Back to that EMF reading, like I said, it spiked to around 2 milligauss. Natural EMF in our environment varies anywhere from 0.01 milligauss up to 1 would be considered normal. I'm not exactly sure why so many people freak out when they get these small readings, but man, all day that really got my attention over here. Just goes to show you that it doesn't have to be nighttime for you to have these activities. So you can do paranormal investigations in cemeteries during the day legally and not have any issues. So it sure beats not trespassing. Excuse me, it beats trespassing. Yeah, I have no idea why I've got nothing. Absolutely no readings at all. Try down at the foot. Is there someone here trying to communicate with me? If you are talking, keep talking. I can't hear you, but my recording equipment will hear you. And if you have something important to tell me, and I will come back later and give you the answers to your questions. All right, if you give me 1 second here, I'm going to take this camera off the tripod, and I'm just going to carry the camera. Give me 1 second. Yeah, probably going to make you nauseous, seasick. But yeah, we'll get her here, and this way it'll be a little more stable. Okay. There we go. And there I just had a little reading over here. I'm determined to find that area again. If I find another spike here, I'm going to get my second voice recorder going with an induction microphone to see if I can't record any EMF in audio format. But I'm not going to have hours of additional audio to go over if I'm not getting any more spikes. So I will continue to try to find this area. That was so bizarre. Could you tell me about the people that were up here with the candles? Is there anyone here that would like to talk at all? Let me check this battery here, make sure we're still good on the battery. There's the battery test, we're good. So put it back on magnetic, and just wanted to make sure that the battery wasn't acting goofy and causing those readings, but it's full strength. So is there someone over here that caused that needle to move? I know I asked you earlier, but could you do it again, please? William Hoffman, was that you that was trying to communicate with me? You built this cemetery for the people of your community and their servants. I understand that, and I commend you for that. If you're here, could you speak to me? Or could you come to me and touch this black box that's in my hand? Wow, absolutely nothing. Let's go talk to Phoebe a little bit. Maybe she knows who did that. Phoebe, can you talk to me, please? Could you move this meter for me? Could you tell me who was trying to communicate with me? Man, it is hot up here. Whew. Is there anyone here at all that would like to communicate with me? Are you aware that you had passed on? Can you please tell me your name? And over here there's stones that are made of local sandstone that have broken off and worn down over the years. There's not a whole lot left of the stones, other than they're here and you know that there's people below. Some of these areas, it's very bizarre, they have actually pits in front of the stones where the ground had actually sunk over the the hundreds of years. Is there anyone here? I just saw a very, very slight movement. Could you do that again for me, please? Okay, I've been walking around here for I don't know. I'm walking around here for 45 minutes now. I can't, there's a little reading there. I was just going to say I didn't get any more readings, but my camera batteries are about dead. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. If there was anybody here that communicated with me, I'd like to thank you. Woo. What the hell was that? It's weird, it came right over there by that tree. And that tree was actually one of the first places I ever recorded an EVP up here. I was over at that corner. And that's where I got my first over here. Huh. Okay, so anyhow, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thanks for watching. I will be coming back up here when I get my data loggers, and I'll be able to do a little more thorough investigation and have a better idea of what the readings were that I documented here today, hopefully. So thanks again for watching.